How are you guys doing? Welcome back to a brand new episode here on the channel. My name is Rick here at the Digits Club, and today we're looking at Solrazr, a very promising launchpad on the Solana blockchain that primarily focuses on IGOs, IDOs, and NFT related projects. The entry price at the moment is incredibly low and the project is showing a lot of potential, so we're going to jump right into it, so definitely make sure to stay tuned for this one. Okay, everybody, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Today, I will give you guys, or I will try to give you guys as much value as possible in the next 30 minutes, okay? So in the next 30 minutes, I will give you guys the complete overview of Solrazr, so you don't have to do any more research after that. I would like to point out that I am not a financial advisor, so if you do decide to go into this launchpad, always do at least a little bit of your own research and make your own decisions. With that out of the way, let's get started right away. Make sure to drop a like, join the Discord, and yeah, let's just get started. Solrazr, as I said before, is built on the Solana blockchain, and it is more than just a launchpad. It is also an accelerator and a developer tool. Most of its launches are primarily focused on NFTs, games, and there are some IDOs as well. Of course, it's on the Solana blockchain, so it's fast, it's new, and it supports NFTs perfectly. The Solar price right now, that's their token, is currently at 1 cent, which is very, very low. I would like to point out that it has been much higher at its token generation event. It was all the way up, I believe, at $17, but the way its tokenomics are set up was already a indicator that it was going to be a big drop off, but it did do a 50x from its beginning to the launch, making a lot of profit. And then, as almost every launchpad, it did go down, which is not really a problem in the end. It is very common. The circulating supply is 27.3 million and the market cap is at 1.9 million, which makes it definitely one of the bigger launchpads here on the Solana network. It has over 11,000 unique stakers and over 550,000 value staked. There's more than 7.8 million Solar coins actually staked at the moment, so that is a good indication that a lot of people are participating in the project and are trusting this launchpad. These are 11,000 people, more than 11,000 people that have decided to put their money into Solrazr and keep it there. And especially in this bear market, this is a very big number, which also makes it obviously one of the bigger launchpads on the Solana network. This is also why I'm classifying Solrazr as a tier 2 launchpad, not only because there's so many people using this launchpad and so many coins currently staked, but also because they've had many large and very successful projects, which definitely gives them a tier 2 spot in my opinion. Here we see a couple of their former projects, or at least former, these are upcoming, and there is a couple. Yeah, so these are upcoming, and then over here we see their closed IDOs. So we're going to look at the closed IDOs in a bit. First, let's see what is upcoming. It's very interesting to see that they have more than 3 projects that are currently upcoming. One of them is an IDO. I believe the rest are all IGOs, mostly related to the metaverse, NFT, and obviously play to earn. But like I said in the intro, they don't just do that. They also have initial DEX offerings such as Gitbook, I believe I would say. Cool stuff coming up over here. I'm not going to go too deep into what projects they are going to be launching in the future. I think what is mostly important if we're looking at a launchpad is to look at the projects they've already done, because those are the best indicators for what is yet to come. The closed IDOs are among Sectritum. Let me know if I butchered that name. Winners and Choice.com. You might actually know some of these already. I believe Choice.com is quite big. They describe it as the first ever MetaFi, CeFi/DeFi ecosystem. If you click on the link, you will come to another webpage where you will have more information about the project and an option to connect your wallet and go to the social media pages of the project. What is most interesting for now is the information on the IDO, where they say for how much the token was sold, in this case 2 cents, the initial market cap, and the pool size. I would love to see if the IDO was sold out or not, and how much the project actually raised in the end. But I'm not really seeing it. They're not showing it on the website per se, or I'm not finding it. But I can assure you guys that most of the projects that Solrazr has done have had pretty good results. And what I can also tell you guys is that I can't tell you anything more because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, here you guys go. A very important part for everyone watching here from the States. I don't know, do I have a lot of United States people watching? Let me know, I'm very interested. But it is worth mentioning that KYC is required for the vast majority of the IDOs that is being done by Solrazr, meaning if you're from the States or any of these countries over here, you will not be able to participate as KYC is not allowed in your country. So that is very unfortunate, of course. Anyways, we'll go to the projects and the IDOs in a bit more detail in a little bit. For now, we're going to go and move over to the rest of their website, and we're seeing here the top features of Solrazr. We're going to go over them real quick because this is what is going to differentiate this launchpad from other launchpads on the Solana blockchain. We see tradable allocations. This one is very interesting and I want to dive into this a little bit deeper. It says remaining tokens seal whitelist and allocations by leveraging the power of NFTs on Solana. So your allocations are actually tradable, which is really, really cool, and you don't see that super often. It's also something very particular with Solana. Not every blockchain allows for stuff like this, so it's really cool to see that Solrazr is really using the Solana blockchain how it is intended to be used. We see the accelerator program here. Under the accelerator program, we incubate projects and help with go-to-market strategy to launch quickly. Also very cool that this launchpad doesn't just launch projects, right? Because that is very simple. Everyone can launch a project. It's not the most hard thing to do. So to see that they also have an accelerator program, make developer tools, and add new things to the utility of their launchpad and their token is really awesome to see, and it shows that the team isn't in it for the short run, isn't in it for a quick cash grab, but is still developing the project even during this bear market. The developer tools, here it says turbocharge your Solana D-app development with a suite of powerful developer tools. They also have cross-chain pools. Built on Solana, wormhole cross-chain pools allow communities from other chains to invest directly into Solana projects. If you guys watch my reviews more often, you know that I always say if there is no cross-chain compatibility, the launchpad is outdated, right? Right now, you can still get away with having a launchpad that isn't cross-chain, but in the future, this will change. It is a matter of time before cross-chain compatibility becomes a must, and if the launchpad already provides it, it means that it is ready for the future. If it doesn't do that yet, it means that they will have a big problem in the coming years when it becomes a must and a default for most launchpads. Despite that, it's also very, very handy and very nice to see that they are providing this for all its users right now. It is already a big benefit. Together, obviously, with the developer tools and accelerator and the tradable allocations, they're bringing some very cool extra features to the table, which really do differentiate Solrazr from other Solana launchpads. So I like this, and I'm very bullish about Solrazr in that sense, as in all of their extra functions that they add. Here they have a security audit report. We're not going to get into that right now. What is more interesting for me are their partners. We're seeing some big names such as GPF, GMS, Divergence, STL, and Moonrock Capital. And a bunch more. We're seeing ZBS Capital as well. That one was worth mentioning too. And then we have a bunch of angels here, such as Frax, 500, and Archer. So we're seeing a lot of big names in here, but more importantly, we're seeing a lot of partners, right? So that is always, the quality is important, but the quantity is important as well when looking at the funds, angels, and partners. And then we have a section here talking about the Solana ecosystem. Solana is the fastest growing blockchain with key platforms like Serum, Radium, and many DeFi protocols being built on it. Solrazr aims to supercharge the adoption of Solana network by helping developers and projects raise capital and build fast. And that would be the end of the website. A very well done website that looks very, very interesting. Many good partners that we're seeing, very differentiating USPs here, the top features being very different than other launchpads and being very promising. IDOs and other projects that are upcoming are looking good. The closed IDOs are also looking very good. I didn't manage to see exactly how much they had raised, but we're going to get into that a little bit when we go into their social media, and we'll deep dive into the community sentiment on those projects. The solar price is very low, so there is a you can very cheaply enter this Launchpad as well. And yeah, overall pretty bullish on it so far. But of course, this is only the first part of the video. We are now going to deep dive into other parts of the Launchpad because everyone could have opened the homepage and looked at this. Right now, we're going to give value in other ways, such as deep diving into the tokenomics, white paper, social media, etc. Before we continue, please make sure to like and subscribe. These videos take a lot of research and dedication to make. I do it every day, so I hope that you guys enjoy. And if you do, a like would always be much appreciated. So let's move forward. Over here, we have a Gitbook.io document. Why was that word so hard for me to come up with? I don't know. And they mainly talk about the key problems here in the opening and the key futures. We already went into this a little bit, but I'll read it anyways, just so we get a little bit more detail. Retail investors today face a growing challenge when it comes to supporting and becoming a part of early growth phase of the next gen ideas and projects built on faster growing networks. Solrazr solves this problem by providing access to projects through fair and decentralized allocations. Secondly, for the projects and developers, Solrazr provides the ability to raise capital at lightning speeds in a truly decentralized manner, helping them forge strong communities for long-term support. In addition to helping these projects raise capital, Solrazr also provides access to a host of developer tools to help them build fast on Solana and go to market early. Then they also state their key features, such as tradable allocations, the accelerator development tools, and cross-chain pools, but we already went over them at the homepage. Now, before we move any forward, let's talk a little bit about the tradable allocations. Here on Gitbook, they say decentralized launchpads have revolutionized crypto fundraising in 2021. The same way decentralized exchanges have revolutionized crypto assets trading. Projects can raise capital without any friction, while millions of retail investors can participate in the funds raising with just a wallet, very decentralized. However, the promise of realizing the full potential of decentralized fundraising is laden with issues, as many launchpads are struggling to enable fair allocations to the retail investors. Most launchpads enable only large token holders to participate in the token sales of users, FCFS, first come, first served model, where the allocation pools are attacked and taken by bots. Retailers who want to invest a small amount cannot afford to pay exorbitant gas fees to compete for the allocations. Exorbitant? That's a pretty big word. I hope I did that right. While some launchpads are attempting to conduct fair launches through lotteries and ticketing systems, we at Solrazr are reimagining the solution through tokenizing allocations by leveraging the power of NFTs. So like I said before, I'm very happy that Solrazr is utilizing NFTs, as they are, at the end of the day, they're building on the Solana blockchain. So not doing anything with NFTs would be an absolute waste. And having this as a solution for bots and the unfair way of things with the tier system and the lottery system, and of course the bots attacking the allocations, I think this is a very good way and a very good solution. If we're looking at the former project, it does seem like it's been working out. Again, we'll look at community sentiment in a bit. What does the community think about it? But on paper, it looks really good. I'm not saying it necessarily works good in practice, but on paper, it does sound like a good solution. Then we're going to get back to the Gitbook in a little bit because we're going to look at the tokenomics. But before we do, let's take a look at the team. It's very important. The team appears to be doxed, as I see not just their name, but also a picture. I'll look on LinkedIn in a little bit to verify that they are indeed fully doxed. We're seeing here, those are some difficult names, guys. Shrikant Kalapur, Vijay Kalangi, and Nicholas Gregory. That one is a bit easier. I hope I pronounced that right. Shrikant is the VP engineer at Polymorph, acquired by Walmart Labs, 15 plus years of experience building highly scalable products. Then we see the co-founder, Vijay. He's also the CTA, he's not the co-founder of Solrazr, but he is the co-founder and CTO of an edutech firm with multi-million-dollar revenue, 14 plus years of experience. And yeah, in short, they are having a lot of experience on paper. Here we have 15 years of risk compliance. What is his? Doesn't say what he does. They just say he has 15 years of experience. Yeah, that's it. They don't say anything else. That's kind of weird. I mean, 15 years of experience, yeah, sure, but what do you do at the company? Would have liked to see that. 15 years of experience in digital marketing. So I guess he's a digital marketer. Okay, as a little feedback point, I would have loved to actually see what they do in the business right now. it's good to have them doxed and to know what their experiences are. But if I don't know what they're doing in the company right away, right now, as their current role. Anyways, here we have a bunch more people. I'm going to go over to LinkedIn and see if I can find a profile on them real quick. Yep, there we go. We are seeing a fully doxed team with not just their profile picture and name, but also a doxed LinkedIn. So it's good to see a doxed team. Let me go in a little bit more depth as to why this is such a very, very important part of any Launchpad review. If the team isn't doxed, they can get away with much more stuff. To the people using your Launchpad, it is saying, guys, I'm not gonna F you over because if I do, you know where I live, kind of thing, right? So to see them all doxed, not one, not two, but basically the entire team is very important. I would have loved to see actually what they are doing at the company, and some better pictures would have been nice. I mean, come on, let's face it. You're a very, very handsome man. You could have easily made a better picture, right? So just that would have been nice. Look at this, Vijay having an amazing picture, and then we see Nicholas Gregory with a very bad, not high quality picture. It's like, come on, you know what I mean? Here we see Gopal with a pretty high quality image. Anyways, that is about enough for the team. I'm very happy that it's doxed. Yes, I cry a little bit about how the pictures aren't looking. Who cares, right? Who cares? Not the best quality picture. I'm not gonna complain about it too much, but yeah, it would have been a nice addition. Just some good pictures, right? At any rate, let's move forward. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the graph on CoinMarketCap because the launch of the coin has been quite eventful and very interesting. Currently, I'm looking at all. But if we zoom in a little bit, let me get this zoomed in. So we're seeing over here the peak of the coin being at $15. It then immediately plummeted down to $5. But that did mean that there was a pretty big X being made there on the token generation event. After that, the coin remained relatively valuable, but all things changed eventually. Bear market hit in, and there we go, and the coin dropped off. Pretty straightforward pattern. We see this a lot with the Launchpads. This is kind of just how they go. This is their pattern. But I figured it was worth pointing out because of the very large spike. That means that a lot of people made a lot of money here on Solrazr. So that's always good to point out. I mean, why are we in Launchpads? It's to make money, right? Let's face it. We're not in it for the project. We're in it for the money. So it's good to point out. The coin is actually up a couple of percentages. It's at 7 cents right now. More than 27,000 people have it on their watch list, and it ranks at 3,400, which is obviously not very high, but as a Launchpad token, it is. As you know, Launchpad tokens kind of suck most of the time, so it's pretty high up there. Not too bad, not too shabby. The volume is quite high over the last 24 hours. It's at 242, increased by 5%. Absolutely fine with that. The volatility of the coin is not the best. I mean, it's relatively volatile, but it's also not the worst I've ever seen. We do have some pretty big spikes, indicating that the liquidity on this coin isn't the strongest. On the other hand, though, it's not too bad. I've seen Launchpads with much more volatility in the price, and these spikes, they're not entirely uncommon, but it was worth pointing out because this only happens with a certain amount of liquidity. We are seeing this coin definitely going up some 20% just like that. So I figured that was worth pointing out. Right, you're looking at the tiers because after all this, you got pretty excited. You're feeling it, right? You're feeling it. You want to get into this. I got you. But let's look at the tiers because there's gonna be some money that will be needed to actually get started and to get yourself a tier. Now, how much money you ask depends a little bit. We have a couple of tiers here. The first tier is seed, second is sapling, and the third is tree. Bit confusing calling a tier a seed because people might confuse it with the seed rounds. But okay, that's fine. So the seed is giving a weightage of 14%, sapling 21, tree 29, and mighty oak 36%. We are needing 400 stake for the first tier, which is seed. Of course, the Sol Solrazr currently goes for 7 cents, so the calculation is pretty straightforward. That would simply be 7 cents times 500, which would be $35 US. Very affordable, very cheap to get started with this Launchpad. Now let's take a look at the most expensive one, which would be 50,000. All right, so that would be $3,500 US to get into the highest tier and $25 to get into the lowest tier. So it is very affordable, in my opinion, to get started here on Solrazr. And $3,500 for the most expensive tier isn't that expensive either. A 36% weightage is very, very large, but if we look at a 14% weightage for the very lowest tier, it is still pretty good. So I'm very happy to see the tier system like this. I'm quite happy with it. Guaranteed tier, we have only one tier where allocations are basically guaranteed for the foreseeable future, and that is the Mighty Oak. The rest is not guaranteed. Then moving over to the tokenomics, obviously a very, very important part out of any Launchpad. We are seeing 31% for the token sale, 10% treasury, 10% liquidity, 20% for the BD fund, and 9% ecosystem, and then 20% for the team and advisors. Again, 20% being relatively high. However, this tokenomics has put both the team and the advisors together, meaning that it's not really that expensive. Considering that they are putting it all together. If it was just the team for 20%, it would have been a bit more on the higher end, but considering that they've included the advisors as well, it is fine. Token sale at 31% is pretty high as well. It's very vague. Token sale, that means they've put both the private sale, the strategic sale, everything together, which I would have preferred if they put it separately on the tokenomics so we could see how much would go into the seed, how much public, how much private. They've just put it in one. Obviously, tokenomics would like to keep it very vague so that they have more movability around what they actually do and where they actually put it. So the more detail you see in tokenomics, the better. But okay, 31% in the sale, 10% treasury is fine, 10% liquidity as well. And yeah, the rest is looking pretty straightforward. They have a 100 million total supply. Fine. So yeah, overall a pretty good, straightforward tokenomics. Again, I would have loved to see a little bit more detail in it. Token sale could have been split up, but for the rest, I am pretty bullish on it. It's not a bad tokenomics whatsoever. And 20% for team and advisors is pretty good as well. There's not actually any other information other than this graph. So this is going to be all the information that we have on their tokenomics. Then moving over to their social media, we are seeing that Solrazr has a whopping 173,000 followers on their Twitter, making them have one of the biggest social media followings of any Launchpad I've ever covered here on Solana. Their design looking pretty slick as well, but that is not the most important part. To me, what is most important is, of course, their interaction. Wow, we're seeing here, this is a retweet, okay? Lots of retweets actually, very actively, but how many followers they have and how actively they post is important, but the most important thing is the community sentiment. How many likes do they get? What are people saying in the comments? That is the number one advice I would give anyone looking into a Launchpad. The community is vital, and if the community is negative, or if there's no community, then the Launchpad is probably not what you think it will be. So let's take a look at the comments here. This is a tweet about a new launch Yachtingverse IDO on Solrazr with a little video here. Thus far, we are seeing a lot of positivity. Let's go cruising. Great work, team. Nice. Awesome. Let's talk business. Lovely. Nice. Wow, that's amazing. Nice. Okay, so community sentiment looking pretty good. Obviously, some of these might be bots, but there's enough variety in the comments for me to say that this is likely a positive community sentiment and not just some bots commenting or whatever. They also have other accounts where they retweet from. Here's another actual Solrazr. Bitcoin Pizza Day 12 years ago. Okay, so this is just a Bitcoin tweet. Obviously, this is not related to Solrazr, so it gets a bit less interaction. But also here, the community seems to be interacting with it. Well, we have one comment here saying that someone says that their transactions failed. This was in May 30th, and someone confirming that that happened as well. but this is really the only question slash critic that we're seeing. Oh no, actually we have one more. I'm not happy with the price of solar. How much solar do we need to buy 2 pizzas now? Half a year ago I could have bought pizza for a lifetime. Okay, this is actually just a me. Okay, so the community sentiment seems to be pretty positive actually. And obviously you're always going to have 1 or 2 people that are not happy or asking questions or whatever. That's always going to happen. But it is important to see that the community sentiment overall is positive, apart from, of course, seeing a very big Twitter following. So Twitter gets a big thumbs up from me. That is looking good for Solrazr. Then, as the final part of this review, I'm going to be looking at some of their prior IDOs to determine how good they did and what kind of project Solrazr takes most of the time. Now, most of its IDOs, IGOs, or whatever they launch on their platform is NFT related. So we're seeing a lot of IGOs, we're seeing a lot of NFT collections, stuff like that. Uncle Mine is actually one of them. They have their own token, NFT. It's a first IMO, high APY USDC as revenue. We're seeing here a pretty slick website. Obviously, what the project does isn't as important. It's more so important how the project acted on Solrazr. Was it profitable or was it not? And if we're looking at some of the other projects on Solrazr here, we can see the token distribution and how all of the phases were completed. But I am just not seeing the total amount that they have raised, which is just unfortunate because I would have really loved to see how much the project have raised. I know for a fact that Solrazr has had a number of big projects, but I would have loved it to be included on the actual project page. Actually, it's not the last segment that I was going to do. I was also going to take a look at Solrazr NFT, which is like big. I don't know why I left this for the end, but there you go. If you click on IDO Launchpad, you come to this page which is Solrazr NFT. Think NFTs and mint NFTs. Over here, you basically have the Launchpad segment, but purely for NFTs. So these are the INOs, initial NFT offerings, with some key features such as no-code NFT minting assets, bot protection, DYI, website creator, NFT collection analyst report, whitelist registration, whitelist and pre-sale, marketing support, community assets, and that's it. They also have for NFT creators and for NFT collectors, and you can stake and apply. They have a bunch of strategic partners. Most of them are the same as Solrazr Launchpad, so we've kind of already went over them. And yeah, that's it over here. You can connect your wallet and get started staking in the projects listed here. These are closed, so they currently don't have anything going on, but you can click on them and then you have more information about the INO. Alright you guys, that was the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like and don't forget to subscribe. I love making videos for you guys, and if you enjoy watching them, then please leave a comment down below saying what Launchpad you would love to see next up. And I will see you guys again tomorrow with yet another video here on the Digits Club, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. Alright you guys, thanks so much for tuning in again, and I see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.